Hey guys, hopping in here. This is Tara Macklin to talk to you guys today about intuitive eating. So, this is something that I've been digging into to try to better understand. If you've watched any of my other videos before, I've been kind of lukewarm about the idea, but understanding the 10 key pieces that are involved in intuitive eating, I guess I've been kind of doing it already. So, there's definitely some things from the mental aspect that this program that I absolutely love, and things that I want to maybe even hit on a little bit more as we go through the gamut of things. But I do love the concept absolutely about the mental relationship with food and our bodies. And I love the fact that they talk about distinguishing physical hunger versus emotional hunger and kind of what that needs to look like, and trusting our bodies and listening to it and getting with our body's intuition about our eating style. There are some things that maybe, in the past I felt like what the program was implying, and I don't feel like maybe I agree that I feel like those things are true anymore, and I think that's just the way other people have presented it. So I'm going to run through these 10 key principles. You can kind of decide through them and kind of some of my forethoughts on each key principle if this is going to be more of a process that you will enjoy. And I honestly feel like you can take intuitive eating and apply it to other eating styles, if you will. So using some of the principles in here to help you along the way in your eating journey. So 10 key principles. The first one is reject the diet mentality. So, of course, I just said that you could take intuitive eating and apply it to however your eating style is. But I think what they're really saying at the end of the day is people that aren't making overall lifestyle changes. The overall lifestyle changes aren't diets. They're not short term. They are meant to be for the long run. So that's the difference here between that and a diet. Diets typically are something that we don't stick to. They're super restrictive, all those kinds of things. Kick those things to the curb is what they're saying. So reject the diet mentality. That's really not what you're on here. Honor your hunger. So I mentioned earlier physical hunger and emotional hunger. And as someone who is an emotional eater, I still find myself slipping up in here, really listening to my body and honoring when I'm truly physically hungry versus actually being emotionally hungry and being in a stress response. So trying to figure out between the two. And I can tell you, I'm someone that I will feel that my body is full, and I can still sense that I'm still wanting to eat for some crazy reason. That right there is telling you that at that point, what I'm wanting is more emotional related rather than actually being physically hungry. So once your body starts sending you those clues that you're full and you're satisfied, that's the time when you need to stop. And if you're still feeling hungry, that's time to reassess, maybe get up from the table, tell yourself that you're going to walk away for 20 minutes and go do something else to get away from the food, and then reassess if you're actually truly still hungry or not. So make peace with food. So one thing about intuitive eating is no food is off limits. And this is the piece I've always been kind of like, okay, that's fine, but you're not going to tell someone who's allergic to peanut butter to eat the peanut butter if they're craving it, right? Which typically those people probably aren't actually craving peanut butter. But as someone who has learned that I have a sensitivity to gluten and dairy, telling myself that gluten and dairy is now back on the table, that's going to be a little bit of a tricky slope. But here is what that means: that sometimes there is a time and a place, like maybe like when I've gone on travel road trips where I have to throw all my rules out the table, have things on me to be prepared to eat a little bit differently because my body is going to be like, whoa, what are you feeding me? Enjoy those things, not beat myself up, and go on with life, and then kind of get back on track. So that's kind of what I get out of making peace with food. Also, if you're craving the cookie, again, don't beat yourself up over eating the cookie. What you don't want to do is then eat the whole bag of Oreos just because you ate the one cookie, right? Like, enjoy, savor the cookie, and find something to help balance out what you just ate. If it's going and grabbing some carrots or something like that to try to balance out your meal. I know that doesn't sound delightful after eating cookies, but Giving yourself grace for eating the cookies. That's something I say a lot, is giving yourself grace. Like, don't beat yourself up. And by not making that cookie off limit, you're then actually creating a really good relationship with food rather than making food the enemy. Challenge the food police. So anyone who tells you this is good and this is bad, they're saying don't really listen to that. So again, open the doors to the fact that you might on Sunday go enjoy that ice cream cone, and that is definitely not going to be off limits for you. So that's kind of where that goes back into play. Making sure I didn't miss something here on my notes. Again, though, not then like punishing yourself and gorging and overeating and that kind of stuff too. So just being okay with what you're eating. Is there maybe like a good, better, best kind of theory? Absolutely. And I'll probably touch on that here at the end. Respect your fullness. So that's something that, again, I talked about with emotional eating that can be a little bit tricky, but listen to your body, listen to the cues. If you are feeling full, then that's the sign to stop, not to keep eating, even though that piece of pie that's in front of you is calling your name. Check yourself. Make sure that this is not an emotional response. Maybe get up, walk away. If you're still just wanting that piece of pie, go in and have it, or save it for later. Maybe it's something you're like, when I'm hungry again, I'm going to save this piece of pie for then. So honor your hunger cues. Respect your fullness. Discover the satisfaction factor. So this is going to be finding the things that are enjoyable and pleasurable for you. And a really good example that I shared in my group the other day was that we were having what's called potato hash, pulled pork potato hash. And so it just didn't sound like something that I was really wanting. And I've really become to love vegetables. So I was like, man, I really want like Brussels sprouts or whatever. And so I found some things in the freezer, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want. And I threw them in the oven and I roasted them, put my layer of veggies down. Yes, I understand potatoes are veggies, but then also I put some of the hash on top, and it was perfect, and it was satisfying, and it filled me up, and I didn't crave anything else afterwards. So just listening to your body, understanding what your satisfaction factor is. If you notice that you are craving certain foods, like maybe say chocolate, like you're a chocoholic, that's something that I used to be. Kind of, not that chocolate's bad, and I still eat chocolate, but maybe pay attention to what that is that your body is craving in that moment. Is it an emotional response, or are you craving more magnesium? So that's something else to look into to see if maybe you're lacking in that department. You need some more magnesium. Maybe that's something where you need to go in and supplement some magnesium to help you out along the way. And then that way you can still enjoy the chocolate without going full choco crazy, right? Honor your feelings without using food. So again, going back to the emotional eating here, this is something where if you are noticing that you're full and you're satisfied, but you're still wanting to eat, really check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, seeing what's going on. This is something where maybe you need to get up and go for a walk, or you just need to walk out of the room, or you need to change of scenery, what have you. Find something else to kind of distract you in that moment if it's an emotional thing. Being real true to when you're actually physically hungry. That's the name of the game with this protocol. Respect your body. Guys, this one probably drives me the most crazy with women amongst any group of women in the world, and that is a lot of us don't love our bodies. We literally will sit there and look at our arms and go, oh, look how flabby my arms are, or we'll look at our thighs, or in PCOS groups it'll be, look at my PCOS belly. I see that a lot. We focus on the negative. Really take some time to love your body. I could be really upset with my really large thighs. I have really big legs, but I know my legs are like super strong. So work on some mindset changes. And if you can't do that with the body parts that you're not in love with, find the body parts that you are in love with. So if it's your eyes, really focus on the fact how much you love your eyes. Or maybe it's your smile. Or maybe it's the way you laugh. My smile's really kind of looks kind of fake actually. So my smile isn't necessarily my thing, but I really love my eyes. So that's something I'll focus on. Or maybe you love your nose, or maybe you love your laugh. Anything. It could be your hands or what you can do with your hands. If you can focus on something you love about your body, you'll really work really well to rebuild your relationship with your body. We have not been given great role models in this world. I can tell you that I've been around much of that in my lifetime through different women, seeing the body shaming that we do to ourselves. Please also remember, if you do have littles around you, what you say about your body, they're going to pick up from you. So if you can't do it for yourself, do it for those around you. Exercise is part of this program, and what I don't feel like it means is that go out and get all crazy with exercise. What I do feel like it means, and what I have read, is just finding things that you love to do. Maybe it's housework, maybe it's gardening. Maybe if you're like me, you like going for walks, putting your earbuds in and listening to either music or a podcast or something like that. Maybe you're really into yoga, Pilates, you like to go lift. Go do the thing that you enjoy to do, because you're more than likely going to go back to it. Now, this with PCOS women can be a little bit of a slippery slope, because we'll talk about cortisol and what that means. What I would consider, if you are enjoying exercises that maybe elevate your cortisol levels, watch your time, watch your distance, watch your intensity. You could still do the activities you enjoy, but maybe kind of put the brakes on it a little bit and only do it a couple times a week, and then find something else to do. But I know if I were to try to spend my whole time doing yoga, I'm not a calm person. Stress is one of my things that I have to work on managing. And while yoga is a great stress management, my brain is always thinking about the 50 other things I could be doing in that moment, where if I put a set of earbuds in and go for a walk, I'm focused on my podcast or my music, and I'm not worried about the things that I could be doing in that moment. So we all have different triggers, so just do the thing. Last but not least, honor your health, gentle nutrition. So again, with this process, we're not talking about good foods and bad foods, but you might be talking like good, better, best. And so what I mean is, like, if you see the bag of Doritos that you haven't eaten Doritos of in a long time, maybe you put like a little bit of Doritos on your plate, but then you fill it with the better and the best things. So maybe you're going and getting a good protein source, and you're getting in some good veggies in here, and you're getting, what have you. You fill in your plate, so you're still enjoying those Doritos, and you're not you're not like telling yourself, no, that's bad. You're getting to enjoy the thing you want to enjoy, but then you're still getting in lots of good nutrition and other things to go along with you. So it's kind of like you've rewarded yourself for eating well by allowing yourself to have the one thing that maybe you feel like you shouldn't have had, but you've made it an okay food. So making sure I don't miss anything else on this. So, but remember, at the end of the day, you're going to be the person that's coming up with your game plan, which in today's society can be a little tricky and a little hard to navigate. But you, at the end of the day, know you and your body best. No doctor, no dietitian, no nutritionist, nobody knows you. And so really what they're giving you is some guidance, and you can maybe take that guidance, learn from it, and develop the plan that's going to work best for you. So keep that in mind. If intuitive eating is something you're looking into, this and it sits well with you, this is definitely something to check out. There's some books out there and some people that are really big gurus in intuitive eating. I thought I had some names written down here. So there is Roth would be a last name. I'm probably botching some names in here, but I'll type them below so that way I'm not botching names in here, and give you some name resources if digging in intuitive eating sounds like this is great for you. At the end of the day, you are in charge. So remember that. If you guys are finding this helpful, make sure you guys click subscribe up above and click on the bell so that way you get alerted every time a new video comes up. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.